Well, they say March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. Now, March is almost over, and it's still obviously windy and been super windy all month. So I don't know. We may have all lion, but I guess that's okay. I would like some April showers though, because it's really dry. Anyway, today I thought I would talk to you about what it costs to live like this. And obviously, costs can mean a lot of things. Costs can mean discomfort, costs can mean physical, costs can mean time. But today I'm going to talk about cost as in money. How much money do I spend? So I brought my glasses and I made a list because I knew that I would forget something if I didn't. So these are what I consider mandatory expenses. These are things that I have to have. So the first part of my list is fixed expenses, and I'll put them like on the screen up here so that you guys can kind of see a rundown. Hopefully I can figure that out with the whole tech thing, but we'll see. So my fixed expenses, meaning they can't be really lowered at all, they can't be changed, are mortgage. I have no mortgage, $0. I paid cash for this property. It was originally a tax sale, and then somebody bought it, and then they sold it to me, and I was able to pay cash. So that was amazing. It's 3.5 acres. It's very close to the river, but it's not actually on the river. And I feel like I got an amazing deal on it. So no money for mortgage. Car payment, $0. So I have old vehicles. I have a 1998 Chevy work truck. Maybe it's a GMC, same thing. And I have the 1987 Suzuki Samurai. So they were paid for in cash. Now I do occasionally have a repair cost, and occasionally I have to replace tires and whatever, but they are less than any car payment I've ever seen could be. So no car payment. My car insurance is $66 a month. My phone and internet is actually my highest monthly cost. And out here, all I can really get, I guess I could get Starlink, but that would actually up my bill. I may do that in the future, but for right now, I just have Verizon Wireless. I have a MiFi and then my phone, and it works just fine. So that is $140 a month. So I call them tech subscriptions. So the website hosting and some other subscriptions that I have, like Canva and that kind of thing, they're $48 a month. My property tax prorates out to $7 a month. Electricity. Now, this one's kind of a guess because I haven't actually had electricity for a year here, but I sort of just guessed and but anyway, it's $45 a month for electricity. My lowest bill was $12.95, and my highest bill was $109 during the ice storm. So that's the electric bill. Eye care kind of prorates out to $19 a month. I wear contact lenses, and I go once a year to get an eye appointment. But I do America's Best eye care club. So it's like a one-time payment for 3 years of eye exams, and then I buy my contacts online. And then dental, I go once a year to have my teeth cleaned and checked. I'm not prone to cavities. I have very strong, healthy teeth. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for the braces. Anyway, so it's $12 a month for dental. And the grand total for my fixed expenses that I can't really change is $337. So now these are my variable expenses, meaning that I have them, but I could cut down if I needed to or wanted to. So my variable expenses are food. I spend right around $200 a month in food. I eat very simply. I pretty much eat like the same 7 meals. I'm not super, like, I don't feel the need to have a bunch of different kinds of food. So that really cuts down on my grocery expense. Potentially, I could cut it down more if there was some kind of an emergency or whatever. And then theoretically, as the homestead works its way up, my my grocery costs should drop because I won't be buying dairy except for butter, because goat milk is hard to make butter out of. Um, I shouldn't be buying eggs, although I've never been able to raise eggs more cheaply than I buy eggs ever. Um, the garden produce, some meat from rabbits and goats. So that in the future should drop my food, but then I'll have other expenses. Fuel. So I'm only counting the fuel for my weekly shopping trip because the other trips are just like optional trips. So it costs me about $30 a month in fuel because I generally just take Pedro in. He doesn't take much fuel. So if I go salvage something, I take the truck, but that's not like, if I don't have the money for fuel for that, I can just say no. So that's not a fixed expense. Toiletries. I figure I spend on toiletries and like cleaning supplies, I'd probably spend about $25 a month. Clothing, I prorated the clothing out because, since I do my sewing, I usually have like a big expense because I buy enough fabric for a year's worth of clothing and make the clothing. And then I do end up replacing my boots probably twice a year because they get worn out. I'm really hard on shoes. So $30 a month for clothing prorated. And then I did have at least $40 a month as a laundry expense because I was going to the laundromat once a week, and that was at least $10 every week. So, but I bought Lucy, my wringer washer, so I don't have that expense anymore. So I get to cross that off. And so my grand total for variable expenses right now is $285 a month. Now, you will note that I have no health insurance. I've not had health insurance pretty much my entire adult life. And I maybe have some peculiar views on that. So I live as healthy as I can. I eat healthy. I am outside. I do herbs. I, take good care of myself. But I also do not really believe in I've discussed this with my family, and if I were to get cancer or something like that, I would not be treated for it. And I probably wouldn't even know I had it since I don't really go for checkups or anything like that, because I feel like if I'm not going to be treated for it, what's the point? So I'm 50, almost 55. I've lived a wonderful, amazing, incredible life, and it will end when it ends. And I'm at peace with that. So health insurance is not something that I consider that important. The other thing that I don't have on this list is I don't have livestock expenses because all I have right now are tick and tack, and I haven't had them long enough to really know a monthly expense. I kind of have an idea as far as, like, if I feed only hay and don't feed anything else, I should be able to get away with like 30 bales of hay for all of the animals that I'm going to have. And right now, good alfalfa is about $12 a bale. So that would be $360 a year, which would be $30 a month for hay. And then for grain, I'll feed sprouted wheat fodder. So that's $16 for a 50-pound bag. And I probably will only need one of those every other month. So that kind of gives you an idea. But I've also spent a lot of time and energy planting this hedgerow, and a lot of the trees and plants that I put in are also fodder plants. So I will be able to supplement that quite a bit, and I may be able to get away with only feeding, 20 bales or 15 bales or whatever, but I won't know. So I feel like $622 is really pretty good. What am I giving up for that? Well, I am giving up a lot of stuff has to be done physically. Like I have to physically put the water tank in Pedro and go to the neighbors to get water. I have to, do a lot of physical stuff. Comfort and convenience are what I'm giving up, really. And then some safety, which I kind of believe safety is an illusion. So I don't know that that's actually a thing, but it's not something that I prioritize. So that's my budget for the month is $622. Obviously, if I go out to eat or if I have a project or whatever, that's all on top, but those are optional. Those are not like you have to do this. Those are, well, if I have the funds, I do it, and if I don't, I don't. So what do you think? Do you think that that is a reasonable budget? Do you think that's just ridiculous and I'm totally being dishonest? Because this is the internet. You cannot believe everything on the internet. Do you think you could do this? So if you think any of these things, just tell me about it. Drop me a comment. I love to read your comments. Or if you have any questions or requests, please drop me a comment. I read them all. I try to respond to everybody. And we will see you next time.